So taking a look at YCS Lille, we can kind of see that Odeon was a bit of a shock factor. No one expected that. But then we got Mitsurugi, Dracatal, Mitsurugi in top 8. Yeah, and then, sorry, 2 more Yummies, Mitsurugi, Yummy, and a Dracatal. So, unfortunately, Jordan Gallagher. But he does come back with vengeance. You'll see this a little bit later on. Jordan Gallagher does incredibly well because he ends up getting 9th place, just missing out on the top 8. And then goes and wins the French Open. So, spoiler on that one, if you haven't seen that. When we take a look at the top 64 breakdown, nothing really too surprising here. There's a couple of things that I'm going to try and compare and contrast between like the European events that I've got along the top up here. And then the American events as well. So the Odeon is a bit of an outlier. And what I mean by that is when you look at the rest of the top 64, or even just like the top 16 being Mitsurugi, Dracotals, Yummies, Mitsu Yummies, Malices, and Vanquish Souls, like it's kind of expected. Though that being said, where was the Vanquish Soul? They said, no, sorry, the Vanquish Soul was in top 16, right? Curious what the top 16 Vanquish Soul list looked like. Let's have a look. Oh, hello. Interesting. It's pretty much Vanquish Soul K9, not that that's a shock. I'm not the biggest fan of that single dimension shifter, but... and then, funnily enough, what I'm also going to look at is the price of the deck. As we've got it here now, obviously prices are subjective, I believe. I don't know how these are all tallied up. But deck price was 428. Surprisingly enough, I thought it was the highest valued deck that won. Or the highest value deck. But the highest value deck is... There was one that was 600 round here, unless I was seeing things. But there was a Mitsurugi deck that was $690 something, I believe. Can't remember where I saw it. Maybe I was just seeing things. No, there we go. $622. I can't figure out where that $622 is. Because I can't imagine that lineup is any different from most other Mitsurugis. Like, what have we got up here? So this has got Fuelos in it, but it doesn't have Meowis and it doesn't have Perulia. And keeping in mind, this is when Dimension Barrier was... this is round during Dimension Barrier time. This is also round during the Molnir kind of lock as well. Anyway, there has to be something a little bit wrong here, but maybe the Molchummy, Perulias and Fueloses were valued a lot higher. But if you take it all the way back to the Odeon deck, I can see where the money is on here. But they also saved a lot of money as well. They weren't playing Fuelos at the time, which didn't have the Legendary Duelist reprint. Purges and Pulses. So very interesting, actually. Quite fascinating. Quite fascinating. I like that. So let's have a look at the next one. So we've got Houston Regional. So the Houston Regional was approximately 500 duelist. Malice won it. Mitsurugi came second. And then in the top 4 was Mitsurugi, Yummy, and then Orcust, and then one unknown. It looks like we've only got the top 8 on this one. The most expensive deck didn't actually win it. It was like the 3rd cheapest won it. So it just kind of comes to prove that you don't have to have... It's not the biggest amount of money on this one anyway. But yeah, cool. So Malice won that one. Then moving on to the Switzerland Open. Vanquish Soul was the winner. Yummy came second. And then we had Dracotail, Mitsurugi, Yummy, and then 2 unknowns. So Vanquish Soul, again, not the most expensive one this. So for those that people that say it's pay to play, technically, when you look here, the most expensive, Josh Kelly got 4th. Wow, Dracotail. Nice. Like, obviously, you have to pay to play with deck. And this was 206 duelists. We're going to see Josh Kelly's name pop up quite a few times, actually. He's a bit of a globetrotter at the moment, just going from event to event. In the European areas, anyway. Going back over to America, so 250 duelists. So kind of like the equivalent to the Switzerland Open, give or take. Well, probably take away 40 odd duelists. Mitsurugi Yummy won this one, and then Yummy, Mitsurugi, and then Dracotail. As you can kind of see here. $510. Dracotail. Interesting. So far, if we look at this, we had Odeon. Then we had Malice. We've had Vanquish Soul. and we've had Mitsurugi Yummy. So we've had 4 different winners of like, yes, are called regionals, YCSs, and everything else. So then the next one is YCS Anaheim. So this is where it gets pretty big. So if we compare YCS Anaheim to YCS Lille, YCS Lille had $2,249 duel list, and Anaheim had $1,636 duel list. Christian was the winner. Mitsu Yummy in second place. And then Mitsu, Ryziel, Yummy, Vanquish Soul, Dracotal, and then everything, apart from White Forest. White Forest is probably a little bit of an outlier there. And Memento, everything kind of reverts back to normal. Again, not the most expensive deck. Even then, like, just look at the top 8, you've got a 4-4-2 there. Steven Trusmosky getting in with his Mitsurugi concoction. Getting himself in at the top 8 spot as well. I remember watching this. White Forest was a surprise, but it looks like it's White Forest with like a very small Kashtira package and, you know, pretty good control. And then as we continue to scroll down, see, look, this is what I love. Memento. So it just kind of proves that if you know the deck inside and out, like got top 64, $172. And even if you look up there, Mitsurugi there, a lot of them very, very cheap. So again, when you look at the past 5, we've had 5 different winners. Odeon, Malice, Vanquish Soul, Mitsu, Christian. So like the format is like wide open. It's crazy. Let's have a look at the Spanish Open. So we're comparing this to another European event. So if we put this with, like, put it over by Switzerland, I suppose, and then Houston we'll put over here. Yeah, there we go. So there we go, Madrid. Vanquish Soul. So finally we've got a first double, like a deck that has already won an event, which is absolutely fine. And then we got Dracotal. Oh, the Unknown was in the final. Pretty sure it was so wild. I swear I saw it. It was wild. Christians, Malice. I'm telling you, Malice is going to be a threat at YCS Bologna. I feel that if you don't respect it, you're going to get caught out big time. See, I think most of this budget here of the 4-5-1 is Perulia's, Meowis, and Fulos's, and they've all been reprinted. So, and this was before Naroy as well. So, okay. Carrying on, where do we get to? So we've got done Anaheim, Sao Paulo, sorry. Dracotal. I think this is another new one. I don't think Dracotal had won an event up to this point. Again, not the most expensive deck being played. And then the top cuts, if we actually open up to the top 32, so Gem Knight, Sky Strikers, Vanquish Soul. So like this, that's pretty standard. That's pretty standard. This is what were Blue Eyes playing? Show me the goo. Okay, it was Blue Eyes Primite. Main decking 1 Perulia and 3 Furlos. Wow, okay, that's a bit rogue. That's cool though. Bit rogue. Mistaken Arrest, Droll, and then Dimension Barrier. Let's take Dimension Barrier with a pinch of salt now. Okay, so YCS Sao Paulo, 550 duel lists. Moving on to the Indianapolis regional. It's just a regional. So Mitsu Yummy, Malice, Orchist, Dracotal, Christian, Vanquish Soul. Again, nothing too shocking there. I think the Vanquish Soul, pretty standard line. Let's have a look at the Orchist, shall we? Haven't looked at Orchist yet. It looks like Mitsurugi. Was it Mitsurugi Orchist? I remember that kind of got a bit of heat or popularity. Then we got Seattle. So Seattle was won by Yummy, Vanquish Soul, Malice, Dracotal, Lunalight. I feel Lunalight is also going to be an underdog for YCS Bologna. I think it's just going to be a deck that not a lot of people are going to be... Like, it's going to be quite like Malice. And it'll be one of the ones that will benefit if people don't prepare for it. But then if people do prepare for it, then it will struggle and it won't really make much of an appearance. Mexico City regional, 350 duel list. Dracotal won that one. Both Dracotals were in the top 2. Again, not the most expensive. What's the difference between these 2 lists? Fulos and K9 package? Yeah, K9 package. That's where the big difference comes into play there. K9 packages, money. Money. Okay. This is Asian English, okay? So this is going to be a little bit different, but I just thought it'd be quite interesting to see what they what they kind of play. So Malice won this event with Vanquish Soul second. I don't know what the Asian English Forbidden Unlimited list is like, but I mean, free Razen. Oh, free Max. Is it literally? Surely you can't tell me that the Asian English format is the OCG and the English ban list, kind of like Forbidden list. Gimmick Puppet? Say what? What the hell? How did Gimmick Puppet top 60? Oh, because they got two of the. They still have two of each of the burn cards. Interesting. So we've got Brandon. Wondering if we get a December 25 or a January 26 ban list. All barrier statues, Sanctified Dragon, Harpy's Feather Storm, Spell Canceller banned, Heavy Storm to 1, and Bride Fusion to 3. I don't think they need to put Brand Fusion to 3, to be completely honest with you. I think at 2 is enough. It promotes the new set as well. But I wouldn't be shocked if it did come back to 3. I honestly don't think it needs it. If they were going to bring it back to 3, they'll bring it back to 3 at when we've got the Chronicle decks. Okay, let's have a quick look at Indonesia. So Dracatel won this event. Yummy, Mitsu, Malice, Lunalight, Sky Strikers. Again, Dracatel, $201. Like crazy. Nayoga is 4,961. So this is the bigged representation of players. And Malice won it. In Japan as well. Remember, Malice is a little bit more nerfed, I think. Oh, evidently not. Jesus. They've got 3 Field Spell, 3 White Rabbit, 1 Doorbells, 3 Chessie, and 2 Marcher. I know it's a little bit out of the ordinary. It's not like German Open, 702 Duelist. Mitsu Yummy won it. Malice and Dracatel. Now we're starting to see, the rinse and repeat. Louisville, 300 Duelist. Yummy. RB, get out of here. RB, no way. Top 8 with RB. That's crazy. Oh, it's RB. Well, it's not even RB Orcust. They're just using engines that get 2 machines on the field. Wow. That's so cool. That's so cool. Out of 300 duelists, and they got top 8. Congratulations. Wow, crazy cheap Yummy. No, that Yummy list is not $118. There's no way. Molchummy Marshmallow is like, what, 150 UK? Which is nearly like $200. Nice try, though. Okay. Far Genesis Open. What won? Dracotail won a Genesis. What? Look at the amount of monsters. And they were playing Capshell. Crazy. Onomat. Radiant Typhoon. Odeon. Generators. Look at this. I love this. These are like half the prices. Like, you've only got 2. Obviously, this is 178. That's crazy amount. But like 107. $28. And they got top 8 with it. Super Quant, $101. Wow. Oh, they're playing the fairy cards. Nice. That was just a bit of a sidetrack on that one. YCS Pittsburgh. So I think this was like the biggest, bar the French Open, which kind of happened like near enough. I think they were the same weekend. So Dracatel won it. Mitsu Yummy got second. And then you can kind of see the representation in top 4. 3 Dracatel, top 8, top 16 was 5, top 32, 11. So 11, 7, 2, 4. So again, where are they? Lunalights. It's definitely going to be a deck to be fearful of. And then Malice as well. I feel like you could probably arguably Artifact Lancer might be what you need. And then Aditya. Like Aditya, if you follow competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, you know that Aditya was always on the cusp of doing this. So it's not a massive shock that he's kind of been able to do it. But Luka Kovic, John Wilkin, like these are all amazing players. So Lucas Sacco. Who else we got? Jesse Cotton, top 32. Okay, and then the French Open was Dracatal again, and it was Jordan Gallagher taking on Malice in the final. I haven't played against that. There you go. So Mathieu got top 8 at this event, and at the last YCS, where are you, Mathieu? Top 32. There he is. Top 32 with Fire King. Man, he's on it. So we got top 64, sorry, at YCS Lille. Went and did the French Open, and okay, in fairness, 1,024 duelists compared to nearly double that, but still, YCS Bologna, I highly expect he'll be there in attendance. And a deck like this is really, really fun. Playing the Fallen and the Virtuous in this version, that's cool. Curious, so you would send... What fusion spell do you add? There is no fusion spell. I'm curious as to why we're playing the... I know the Fallen and Virtuous, you activate the first one, you said Albion. Albion would then set you the second one. And then he's using the second one, you would send the Alba Dragon. But the Alba Dragon, it feels like there could be another target that would be useful for you there, no? Unless I'm missing something. Still really cool though. I like that. Fire King Jirac, something I want to be testing out. Really just comes down to trying to destroy the Jirac monster. And then it gets you work your way into the meteor, and then you just drop the meteor on your opponent and completely blow them out, which is crazy. Alright, so French Open was Dracatal. Let's take out the Dracatal was at Pittsburgh. Even Dracatal won a Genesis. Louisville was yummy. Mitsu yummy. Malice. I feel like for YCS Bologna, there is the possibility of... So Dracatal, Mitsu yummy. Malice. I think Lunalight could really get one as well, you know. Lunalight. Wow, Tempire Dragon. Ah, okay, this was in... what's their Tempires looking like? Oh, we don't have that list. Sad. Ooh. I would say without D barrier that Dracatals are left unchecked, but like they're not really... It's not that big of a check. What I mean by that is like Mitsu also don't have to worry about D barrier now, and they're not like they're still doing well, but it's not as if D barrier was what was holding Dracatal back. I think players have just like... I think Dracatal's like resource management is so good. I would not be surprised if we start seeing stuff like Forbidden Chalices, I think Effect Values are going to get a lot more popular just to stop the resource loop of Arfulion. So that'll be interesting to see. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I reckon, what if I had to pick a deck that would win it? I think Dracatal are going to be out there. I would not be surprised if Dracatal win YCS Bologna. Oh my god, was that Malice playing Radiance? Oh, they got Sven and some others in the side deck. Okay, yeah, I reckon we're gonna be. I reckon we're gonna be in for not a shock, but as Europe events usually do, I would love to see Mathieu win it with Fire Kings. That'd be really cool. Even Dinkabui as well. Maybe Dinkabui surely is on that. I know I saw him on Fire King Drac in one of the last events. Yeah, I think Dracatal could probably take YCS Bologna. Interesting. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. Just a short, sweet, simple video. Just kind of have a look at all the past tournament reports and then trying to build a pattern of what could be happening, where we could possibly be seeing it, and then I guess we'll see the outcome at YCS Bologna, in just a week's time, or just over a week's time, because technically the winner will be crowned on the Sunday, which would be a week tomorrow. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions, by all means, comments down below. More than happy to answer them. For now, as absolutely always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.